The triple lock is the law that ensures the Irish Defence Forces, the Irish Army, only goes overseas for UN peacekeeping missions. The triple lock ensures that the government can't authorize any Irish Army operation without the UN first having authorized it. But now the government is preparing to scrap the triple lock. And after that, Irish Defence Forces will join military operations even when the UN hasn't approved them. Those military operations will be EU military operations. And the EU, as we know, is dominated by NATO, and NATO is led by the chump-in-chief, President Trump of the United States. All the talk in the upper echelons of the EU is about the need to get ready for war. Already Ireland has joined an EU battle group. Yes, unbelievably, a supposedly neutral country, Ireland, is in a battle group with Germany and is training for battle. That's what a battle group is, obviously. And these battle groups, they are the basis for the EU army that is slowly taking shape. Don't expect to be asked about this. Instead, one day it will become obvious that we have an EU army without anyone having voted for it. Most EU states are in NATO. So, if our triple lock is scrapped, Ireland is likely to become involved in EU military operations led by NATO. Eventually, when the time is right, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael intend to ditch neutrality and join NATO. Micheál Martin and Simon Harris can deny it until the cock crows. But not to put too fine a point on it, they are liars. Micheál Martin said 10 years ago that the triple lock is at the heart of our neutrality. Now he says it isn't. So we know he told lies about this at least once. And it's obvious that what he says now is the lie. So no matter how many times the government insists that Ireland will remain neutral, we're in danger of ending up with nothing but the word neutrality. The liars would have robbed the 75% of us who have repeatedly said in polls that we want to stay neutral. This country refused to be consumed by the wars that plagued the 20th century and are now casting a shadow over the 21st. The ordinary people of Ireland have always expected and demanded that our government speaks up against injustice and oppression. That's the kind of neutrality proposed by James Connolly more than a century ago, and which was embraced by all, and continues to be embraced by the majority of people in this country. Our neutrality has traditionally been anti-war, anti-colonial, anti-imperialist. Ireland once designated itself a non-aligned country. But Martin and Harris are embarrassed by it because it's out of step with Europe and with the US, both of which, of course, enabled the genocide in Gaza. And they've taken a very dim view of Ireland, daring to voice criticism of Israel. Eventually, that is, after thousands have been killed. Even though it went no further than words. Since being re-elected, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have reverted to type. Now they say it's anti-Semitic to criticize Israel, and they're refusing to pass the original Occupied Territories Bill, never mind put sanctions on Israel. This government is being pulled into line with the EU military alliance and with NATO, the so-called Western Alliance. Their aim is to scrap the triple lock and eventually ditch neutrality altogether. They're only following orders, the orders of Ursula von der Leyen and the creatures who run the US State Department. Also, they like to think of themselves as modern men leading a modern nation, a nation willing to waste billions on weapons, and a nation fully prepared to send its young people to their deaths in war. But as always, they'll find a way to keep their kids out of harm's way. So if it comes to pass, if the triple lock is scrapped, and then if neutrality is ditched, we should expect even less in terms of government opposition to Israel and support for Palestinians, probably none at all. So we need to save the triple lock and we need to save neutrality. And while we still have those things, we need to demand meaningful government measures against the apartheid state that is Israel. Thank you.